Everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to do something different. Today we're going to do a top 5 of the best comics or the comics that I liked in 2025. I got this idea from one of my subscribers called Nuke. Thank you, Nuke, for this idea. And he says, why don't you do something like that? I said, yeah, top 5 videos are very popular and people like that somehow. So I never thought about it. I said, yeah, let's do that. So I gathered some 5 books that I had the most enjoyment of, till now, because we're going into 2026. So first of all, we're going to do the top 5 of the comics that I like. And, a little bit later, not sure when, top 5 of the comics that I really don't like. Ugh. So this is the comic The Moon is Following Us by Daniel Warren Johnson, Riley Rosmo, and Mike Spicer. This is a book that came for me actually out of nowhere. This is a book about 2 parents that has a daughter that cannot wake up. Since they cannot wake up, they had the means, or they decided to bring her back by and help her, because she's being captured by, nightmare creatures, enemies, villains, etc. for reasons that is a little bit unclear to don't let Riley Rosmo's art fool you. It looks cute and has a little bit cartoony style, but there's a lot of violence in there. A lot of people are dying left and right. We also have weird creatures like, for instance, this merchant person here that looks like a bat, and it's a little bit duplicitous, I believe. This creature, you cannot really trust them, but he has the only means to help them. There's wizards in here, frogs that can talk with crowns on, dream creatures, if you will. The colors are extremely vibrant and very nice to look at. And again, it really pulls me in. This is a book that has been made with a little bit of heart, And I didn't understand that at the beginning. Hey, what is this? But then when I saw the couple of issues, because I bought, and I said, let's try it. And then I just being pulled right in. There's, like I said, also stuff from the real world that's coming in. It's all dreamlike, but it's all very cool. And, just cool. It's different. And I'm open for different things. So definitely my top. Well, this is my, did I say number 1? I mean, this is my number 5. We're going backwards to number 1. So next up, we have something that is very close to my heart when it comes to storytelling, art, and good memories. And it's none other than number 2. No, number 4. Why am I saying number 2? Now, this is Atari Force. This is Volume 2. Volume 1 I don't have. It's very hard to get, even on eBay. It's 5 issues. This is pure, for me, old school science fiction. I'm a sucker for retro science fiction. Because I don't like modern science fiction much with all these, holograms and flashy lights. I like levers, buttons, screens with information on it, data. I like that. I grew up with that. It's just this mechanical science fiction aesthetic that's in here. This is a book about Martin Champion and his son, Chris Champion. But Martin Champion has, let's say, trauma. The reason, I'm going to show you. Lost his wife, and he blamed the death of his wife on his son Chris, that is now still to this day trying to desperately, seek favor of his dad, but his dad blamed him for his death. But what Martin Champion didn't know, he's the head of the Atari Force, by the way, that a creature called the Dark Destroyer that he met in Volume 1, but he thought he destroyed that creature, is actually behind that. The Dark Destroyer wants to destroy this universe because the Atari Scanner 1 from Atari Force. Atari Force is some, government-like place, space station. They stole the Atari, the Scanner 1 to seek the Dark Destroyer and basically want to get rid of it. But of course, that's not really going easy because there's a lot of factors involved. The Dark Destroyer has amassed a lot of murderers and criminals from other planets, gathering a mass army. But we also have As you can see on the cover, we have a guy called Blackjack, and we have Dart. Now, Dart is a friend of Martin Champion. Martin Champion, they are, Martin Champion has the ability to phase through other dimensions, like teleporting. Really cool. But these were former lovers. Blackjack is being brainwashed by, the Dark Destroyer, and basically betraying the Atari force. But they are mostly Dart and Blackjack or mercenaries. So they're overall coming together. They're almost individuals. Martin Champion is just hiding in a corner, just doing scans in the universe, wants to seek, the Dark Destroyer. He's being left alone for many, many years. Then another doctor comes to visit him called Morpheus. He has psionic powers, and basically try to convince him to seek, mostly counseling, but also maybe you should talk to your son again. There's a whole story behind this, but overall, the action looks really cool. And like I said, it's the 70s aesthetic. And here's the betrayal that I talked about. And the action looks awesome. The panels from Jerry Conway and Jose Lucia Garcia Lopez are fantastic. Like I said, there's a lot of betrayal. There's a lot of, things blowing up, people getting killed. Again, I'm a sucker for this stuff. You can wake me up. Number 4. Definitely worth it. 3 is a manga. And it's the most masculine manga you will ever read, in my opinion. Number 3 is Fist of the North Star. Fist of the North Star has 18 tankobons, 18 volumes. I have it all here. You can see it behind me. Hardcover, over 200 pages. Definitely worth a buy. Why? Because let's say, when I said that is the most masculine manga you will ever read, by none other than Boranson, who is the artist, and Tetsuo Hara, who is the creator of the Fist of the North Star, because it's about Ken. It's a post-apocalyptic world. There's something really bad happened to the planet. A lot of thieves, marauders, and power seizing because of, warlords. Ken comes out of nowhere, and cities and villages are being dominated by these lords, if you will. He comes out of nowhere, he saves people, but he has also a secret. The secret that he is the wielder of the Fist of the North Star, also known as Hokuto Shinken, the divine Fist of the North Star. Now, that's a secret technique. If he's going to use it, pressure points in your body are being targeted and explodes parts of your body. Looks great. The Marauders, and I'm showing you just a couple of pages how this book is going to flow and how it looks like. It's all black and white, of course, just with manga, and it should be because it's fantastic. So Ken comes in, helps a lot of people, with the overlords, frees them, and basically kicking ass. And he is so incredibly strong that he has no problem dealing with these marauders and these villains. For now, but they're also these villains and basically killing a lot of, unfortunately, innocent people. And it has this classic story about a hero that comes out of nowhere, has a hidden power, and tries to do the right thing. But he has also, I think Ken has a little bit of an attitude, but it really suits him. All these people are just masculine and strong and muscular, and even the villains are just big, bold, and they're just evil as it gets. Ken deals with them. There is an overall storyline with the big villain at the end that he has to overcome because some other people are also using, the Hokuto Shinken and other powers, and from other schools as well. They all have really deadly, devastating powers. There's also a secret, well, not really a secret, but more like a lost love. He is falling in love, or has, of a woman, and he wants to seek them, but she has been apparently killed or being kidnapped by one of his enemies, and Ken really, wants to get her back, and he's just, doing what he must, helping people on the side, but also, try to get his girl back, and it looks absolutely phenomenal. So yeah, Fist of the North Star, definitely worth a buy. Like I said, masculine, strong. I mean, if you read this, you want to go to the gym and you're gonna pump iron, right? And you're gonna be strong and you're gonna be the best version of what you actually want to be. Yeah. Or another surprise, and it's from Image Comics. Now I must say, Image Comics, I don't know what they're doing, but they're doing very, very well. And I'm very happy because I'm not interested in, like, you probably know me about this thing about me or not. If you're a new subscriber, I don't buy modern comics anymore. With modern comics, I mean DC and Marvel. I just tried it. It's not for me anymore. They are, in my opinion, completely lost the way. So I switched to another publisher that I've reading, getting, let's say, I bought a lot of Image Comics, but the line that they are doing now, like Transformers, G.I. Joe, Geiger, creator-owned comics, really good. They have the same creators, the same writers over and over again. And this is my number 2. Rook Exodus, another banger. Now, what is this all about? This is about a guy, let's call him Rook, right? Or another banger, came out of nowhere. For me, I just picked it up because it looks great. It's by Jeff Johns, Jason Fabok, Brad Anderson, Rob Lee, by Image Ghost Machine, creator-owned comics, consistent quality, high-quality art, high-quality colors, great mature storyline. I like that. It's about a guy, well, his name is not really known, but they call him Rook. Now, Rook is coming from Earth. He bought a ticket to get a better life on another planet. They terraformed it. They got, some people are being trained into controlling the wildlife using a helmet because something is happening on that planet. The planet has a world machine. The world machine, or the world engine, if they call it, it's failing. Why? Don't know. But people are fleeing from this planet. Why? Because the terraforming that they did is going into reverse, basically destroying the planet in a process, for living creatures. That is also a problem because now all the other creatures, they are being transformed into bigger, meaner creatures. These creatures need to be under control. Rook wants to escape the planet because, he is basically a depressive, very negative person. The creatures that he controls are crows, birds, let's say birds, but the birds, or creatures in general, have a secret, well, not really a secret, but they push back. So this mental command that the helm is giving out to these creatures to do the host's bidding, they are also whispering in its head. And some creatures have more dominion and persuasive powers over their hosts. Yeah, and that gives a lot of unique perspective on how these people operate and what the motivations are. The art's freaking phenomenal. Jason Fabok, oh man, his art is great. Rook has also a mentor / girlfriend, but they are not seeing each other anymore. So this woman's called Direwolf. She controls wolves, and she wants to convince basically our hero to stay and fight for this planet, but he just say, I want to get out of here. But they're also being hunted by a rogue person, an evil guy called Ursa. Now, Ursa has the power over bears to, control the bidding. Now, why is he the enemy? Not sure, because I haven't read the complete, full book yet, because I have only 4 or 5. I have 6, 7 in my possession, and so I need to continue the story. But it is really cool. Why? Well, here is why. The art is phenomenal. It pulls you right in. It has this, this very dark aesthetic about the world is collapsing. But coming back to Ursa, Ursa is basically murdering people for their masks. What he wants to do with it? Well, he's gathering up people that wants to control the world engine, so he then it seems that the engine has connections with all of these people that has the masks on, these rooks. So if he is controlling the world engine, he has control over every people that has those masks on, controlling different kind of animals. And it looks freaking awesome. So yeah, a lot of action, a lot of intrigue, a lot of, violence that I love in my book. I wonder where this is going. So this is definitely a top 2. Check it out. Super. So guys, now we're going to do the number 1. that I think is, for me, the best book of 2025, possibly going into 2026. We're going to see, but the books that I've read and the issues that I've reviewed, mind-blowing for me personally. So, my number one pick of 2025 is Conan the Barbarian from Titan Comics. Oh man, what a breath of fresh air this is. This book is everything that I've wanted in a Conan book or a book in general. The writing is so good that I've been immersed, there's no book here that I've read that is, for me, so immersive. Conan the Barbarian is basically, or Titan Comics reinvented Conan the Barbarian and how it should be. If you like the Marvel version of Conan, which was still the best version of Conan the Barbarian, in my opinion, other publishers take on Conan the Barbarian, they failed. And even when Conan the Barbarian went back to Marvel, modern Marvel, they didn't know what to do with it. They just put it in with the Avengers and Kulan Gav, and that comes to the modern world, and there's some superheroing stuff. Get out of here with that crap. Conan the Barbarian is a barbarian in the Hyborian age, slaying monsters, killing demons, taking on wizards, etc., laying bed with beautiful women. That's what Conan is, and it's exactly what it's in here, and this is exactly what you want. Now, I'm going to show you a couple of pages. This one has been drawn by Rob Della Torre. Now, Rob Della Torre is an artist that has mastered the art of Cell and John Buscema. It is basically it's not a copy, but he has his own twist on it. But basically, it's just like John and Cell Buscema. It's just that good. And his arch enemy in this particular story is none other than Thulzadum. Now look at this gorgeous looking panel. Now I had my complaints about the, sorry for the light that is shining in, but I had my little bit complaints about the coloring, but I get over that. The art and the story is so good. The writing really immerses you in the Robert E. Howard universe. The way it's been told, that it's basically you're reading a book. You have visualized the book in your head, and you're going to play out the story or the scenes in your head, but you visualize it because it's in the book, right? And it's so epic. It's so well done. And the narrative is so cool. And I don't know, why don't we have these books anymore? Why don't we have this very mature, with everything is on the line, with villains that are actually villains, not sympathetic villains, no, evil villains that wants to devour your soul, that wants to sacrifice you to the gods, the dark gods that they are worshiping. It's in here, and you're gonna get it, because here we see, they're also meeting with famous people like Cole the Conqueror, for instance. Conan also is meeting up with picked warriors, females, and even Cimmerians because this is the story about the Blackstone. There's also a mini-series that I've reviewed, check it out. But this story is about Conan and the Dark Blackstone that is basically controlling people, using them for evil, gathering their souls for none other than the villain called Thulzadum. Now, Thulzadum is, he is, like I said, a true, cool, evil villain. And this is the last page that I'm going to show you because it's so epic. It's so cool. I can gush over this comic, over this series all day. It's that good. It is great art. Even if Rob Della Torre is not drawing the book, it's also by Doug Braithwaite. Do I have one here that I can show you yet? But it's in my possession, covered by Rob Della Torre. But here, Doug Braithwaite. Oh man, that guy is so incredibly good. In the beginning, I had complaints about his art. I totally gonna swallow my words because the longer that I've read this book, the more immersed I get it, and it's so incredibly good. The action is so kinetic. It's so immersive. Like I said, I can go on and on and on about this book. This is my number one pick, and it brings us to the end of the video. I hope you like it. I've done this take 5 times now because I just stumble over my words. So I'm going to do some editing here and there. So yeah, this is my top 5 of the, well, like I said, the books that I like. Please tell me in the comments below what you think about this video and what your top 5 is of 2025. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.